September Mascot Madness is right around the corner. It tips off on September 4th over on twitch.tv/Taunosaurus and you have less than 2 weeks to fill out your brackets over on challenge.com/sept, S-E-P-T as in the abbreviation for September Mascot Madness. To help get hyped for September Mascot Madness, I thought it'd be a lot of fun to look back at the 5 best matchups from the March Mascot Madness tournament. So far, we've taken a look at Duke and Florida in the Elite Eight, LSU and Louisville in the third place game, and then a Sweet 16 matchup between Cincinnati and Ohio. Today, we're going all the way back to the very first round to watch a matchup between Penn State and Oregon State. Please enjoy. Penn State, Oregon State. This is not a great looking matchup, quite frankly. Okay. Games being played in Corvallis again. Stats don't matter. Home court doesn't really seem to matter all that much. In fact, out of the 8 games that were played yesterday, 1 home team won. There we go. All right, so it's hardest difficulty, 10 minutes. We'll update the standings here in just a moment. So we click over to that tab, refresh the page. Ryan and Debbie both picked up a game there and are tied with Liam, who looked invincible through 12 games. Ashley, you're back by 1, and Alex and I are both back by 2. So here we have Penn State, whose shirt doesn't seem to fit, or the mascot head's just weirdly shaped. I'm going to go with it. It's just weirdly shaped. Visiting the Oregon State Beavers. I want to say that this chunk of the tournament has a good number of... Yeah, there are 4 Pac-12 teams that play. And there are 4 Pac teams at 12... Sorry, hang on, hold on. Time out. Oregon State scored. They're up by 2. There are 4 Pac-10 teams that play in this chunk of the bracket. And Washington and Washington State, both Pac-10 teams, played the first game. So that's 60% of them. I didn't include USC because their mascot is terrible. Who else? I don't know who else. Arizona was in. Arizona and Arizona State were in. Who am I missing? I always forget one of the teams. Oh, and the Cal Golden Bears lost. So I think there are 9 of the Pac-10 teams and then 10 of the Pac-12 teams if you add Colorado and Utah in. All right, so here we go. Another reflective court. We saw a very reflective court up in Minnesota earlier in the tournament. And here we have one that's pretty reflective as well in Corvallis, Oregon, which is where this game is being played digitally 15 years ago. The Beavers, nice inside pass there, and they go up 6-2. Game number 4 in what's been a great day so far. The first game was a little bit of a dud. I was really surprised at how far ahead Alabama got. But the last 2 games have been absolutely terrific. 1-point, well-played games. I mean, well, there was a big stretch in the last game where it was pretty ugly. But for it to come down to a 1-point contest, or at least a 1-possession contest, is great. And then obviously we saw the other game end on a bizarre free throw, or a bizarre foul call free throw mess with 2.5 seconds left. So lots of good stuff. Mississippi State went down, unfortunately. Big 3 by Penn State, who for some reason their acronym or shorthand is PEST. Oh, backcourt violation is going to give Oregon State the ball. Benny the Beaver Up by 3. Working inside. Gets the friendly roll. Don't see a lot of those go in, but got enough spin on it. And oh God. Oregon State, who has the same exact colors as Oklahoma State, and those teams share the same letters as Ohio State, have a 5-point lead as they foul the Nittany Lion, which goes into the, who was it? UConn. It just doesn't even look like the logo. There's a difference between like an ugly mascot or like a goofy looking mascot that at least kind of looks like the logo you're going for, and you get where maybe there was like a little bit of a misstep. And just Nittany Lion? How does that look like a lion? And how the hell did the UConn thing look like the dog in the logo? It looked like a dog, and the fur was white. I mean, I guess, but look at that logo, and you look at that mascot, and you go, somebody missed the mark. All right, shot clock's winding down. It's blocked. Turnover. Turn right back over to an easy, nice defensive recovery by Penn State to force to the hard way. Make him earn it at the line. That's what you want. He is successful, so not a terrible foul, not a great foul. Ideally, you get 1 or 2 misses, but that's just the way it crumbles sometimes. Nice inside pass. The basket is good. No foul called, rather surprisingly. It's a 4-point Oregon State lead. Should just say the Beavers. And a big 3. Big 3. Nice open 3 extends the lead to 7. Kicks it out. 15-8. 4 minutes gone here in the first half. Nice block down near the foul line. Free throw line. Looking to go all the way, and successfully does. A couple of Penn State players had a shot at it, but not able to get the block. So it's now a 9-point Oregon State lead. Could see, I don't know, we see Oregon in the next game. I'm glad that I looked at that, because I was like, oh, you got to pass it forward. You got a guy. Oh, they had, no, why? That was, what mess was that? That was not good. And it led to an injury. All he had to do was pass it forward. And he would have, it would have been an easy play, and the guy wouldn't have gotten injured. Short on the free throw. So this sequence went all wrong for Oregon State. 1 for 2. Should have had an easy bucket if he just passed it ahead, and an injury. Thankfully for them, they lead by 10 halfway through the first half. Dropping inside. Shockingly, that was not picked off. Those are passes that probably like 65% of the time are picked off. I mean, 65 feels like a conservative low guess. Probably higher to 70-75% range. A lot of those get picked off. Ooh, nice inside feed, but a foul on Penn State. The first free throw is good, 19-8. And the second free throw is good. So it was a 12-point lead. Thought Penn State was going to take a timeout. There's just a substitution. Not that it really seems to matter. I don't think it matters at all. That's the biggest reason. Like I'm assuming based on other games that these are like just watching like RNG matchups, but it's possible that it's not that. So hopefully, if you can find a newer version that like has like the stats are blank and blank, but I would trust that it's 99s, and putting it on the hardest difficulty doesn't make everything automatic. 1 for 2 from the line. It's 20-9. Highly doubt we'll get a 23-19 game this time around. Penn State working on a bit of a full court press there. Three-pointer's no good, and somehow somehow the Beavers came up with the rebound. There were 3 Penn State players there. Leads to a foul. 21-9. Foul is short. That is another 3-point play. So we have 23-9. So if Penn State goes on a 10-0 run here, we can get a 23-19 game. 4 consecutive shots missed. They're shooting 30% from the floor. Not good numbers. I think this is a big game for Debbie's bracket. I believe she has Oregon State in the finals. That's the runner-up, potentially. Defensive foul, Oregon State ball. And they're going to count that. Oh, wow. They already have 17 fouls. They have 17 fouls. Not even 7 minutes into this game. That is a surprising stat. Didn't realize it was quite that. The fouls were quite that frequent, but they are. So it's 24-9. Penn State looking to break into double digits, and they will successfully do so. So a 13-point game with 2:54. Looks like these games have gone one of 2 ways. Right down to the wire, or one team pulls ahead and just kind of clobbers the other. Stuffed at the 3-point line. Leads to a turnover. A good possession for Penn State. Obviously, like, it's too early to call anything. There's a lot of game left to be played, but we saw this in the first game, the Alabama-Southern Mississippi game, where Alabama, once they took control, The other teams kind of hung around, kept themselves into it. Rather. I think I just repeated myself. Kept themselves in the game long enough to at least give themselves a shot at winning. Oregon State will take a timeout. 24-12. 2:30 left. A home host stepped out of bounds. Back out. Straightaway 3 is short. Defensive rebound. Good time for Penn State to go onto a little bit of a run. They have 2 minutes left. 3 is off the mark. Oregon State with the rebound. Penny the Beaver looking good. I think it's Penny the Beaver. Could be wrong about that. That's okay. Another block out at the 3-point line. Pushed him back across for a backcourt violation. So just kind of when I thought maybe Penn State was picking up some momentum, couple defensive stops, couple nice plays on the offensive end, even if one of them was a miss. Oh, Penn State almost gave up a missed free throw for another 2 points. And Oregon State had two opportunities, but then couldn't convert either of them. So it's still 24-12. You figure if Penn State can score, let's say if they score 6, they cut the lead in half. That's a pretty good. It's a pretty good chunk to make up in the next minute and 34 seconds or so. Ooh. And there you go. Looking at a three-point play. That's a great start. And that was a great three-point shot. That spot, I keep talking about it, but that spot has been kind in this tournament. 3 of the 6 points to maybe kind of make this a little more interesting. Oregon State throwing it away. Nice quick shot. And let Oregon's defense get back down. I'm all right with that shot. I'm all right with that quick grab and go. But speaking of grab and go, because typically grab and goes are like gas stations, Hostess has a thing where they have, ooh, a foul. Hostess, not fouling anyone. Hostess has a thing where they released, oh geez, mute that. Hostess has donuts, right? And they're the little mini donuts, and they're small and good, and they're okay. The frosting's a little weird. They have the chocolate strawberry, which are delicious. Another turnover. The lead's still 10. So the Nittany Lions, that's going to be a 2. Are they going to give them a 3? That looked like it was a 2. I'm not the expert here. 7-point game. They have the donuts. I don't really like the glazed donuts because the texture, the residue it leaves, it just doesn't feel great. It doesn't have like a great ugh. Like I feel gross after I ate them. Today I was at the gas station picking up some stuff before I went to work, and I noticed that they had jumbo donuts, which are they're just regular donuts. It's like 2 times the size. It says on the package. I should have brought it with me, but it says on the package, Oregon State with a big 3 there to push the lead back out to 10. So Penn State, we'll get back to the donuts in a minute. Penn State's cut into the lead twice now and tried to do something, and Oregon State has responded. So still a 10-point game. Maybe one more made shot. Adjust that number from cutting into that lead, cutting 6 points into that lead, to cutting into the lead by maybe 2 or 3. Maybe we would have liked one more good shot. Anyway, the donuts on the package, it says more than twice the size of donuts. I'm like, what is that? It doesn't make any sense. They're just regular donuts at this point. But I fell for it. They were pretty good. They were strawberry. I almost grabbed blueberry, but then I saw strawberry was next to them, and I didn't know how much they cost. So I only grabbed one. And I didn't notice if there was any sort of deal going on. They're pretty alright. Quick inside passes leads to a foul. Oh, I'm sorry, out of bounds. So a 10-point lead, 29-19. Come on, Penn State, I need you to win. They are not looking great. Check that. They look pretty okay. No, Penn State hasn't looked bad. I mean, the game is closer than what the score indicates. Penn State got off to a bad lead, or a bad start. They were down 12. They keep giving up shots like that, but that was a great block. But they just haven't been able to sustain to really put themselves in a position within striking distance. But they made some big shots. That will help. 29-24. Your mom really needs this game. I think Oregon State. Damn it. I think Oregon State is her second place team. One of the Oregon schools is. I think one of them is Oregon is Liam's second place pick, and Oregon State is your mom's second place pick. Shot's no good. Blocked away. Penn State, and it's kind of happening. They cut the lead down to 5. It was 29-24. They just aren't able to continue that momentum. I mean, obviously you don't have to shut them out all the way, but ideally if you're scoring 2 baskets and they're only scoring 1, that's pretty good. Can't go 2 for 2. That dunk is not helping. The lead back up to, I believe it's up to 9 now. So technically Penn State is actually making progress, because now instead of being down 10, they're only down 9 after trading 2 field goals apiece. That's a big 3. 33-27. I'm pretty sure I picked Oregon State in this one. I'd be surprised if I didn't pick them. Oh, short. All right. Should Penn State opt for a 3, which they've been successful the last couple of trips down the court. Inside, up and in. There you go. We're into a 2-score game. I mean, it was a 2-score game, but it's now a 4-point game. 33-29. Penn State's having a great second half. Great start to the second half. They've outscored Oregon State by 6. Check that, by 4. Lead back out at 6. The great thing that Penn State's done in this game is they've never really felt super out of it. Even when they were down 12, I didn't think Oregon State was really all that in control of the game. They've made a couple runs. They got to match that defensive effort by the Beavers on the other end. They got to try and keep Penn State needs to try and keep Oregon State out. Successfully does. So it remains a 6-point game. Obviously plenty of time. 6:35 is all kinds of time to work with this. The feed inside leads to a foul. And the first one is good. I did pick Oregon State. Thank you for checking. Oregon State way down the court trying to catch that Penn State defense napping, and then I guess you can say that they did. Big dunk by Benny Beaver. Barry Beaver. Penn State. Nice response by them. A nice quick pass inside. Gets the lead back down to 4. So I guess this game is you versus me, huh? Ooh, nice defense. Nice defense. Next time you want to try and get the ball back yourself. That other Oregon State player was in the right place at the right time. Working down low, inside 10 seconds. A nice block. Shot clock doesn't reset because the ball didn't hit the rim, so we're still working with 7 seconds. It doesn't matter because the ball is stolen away. Passed ahead, up and in, and it's a 2-point game. Oh, Penn State. Penn State down by 2. Oregon State really struggling this half. And keep in mind, it's a 16-9 run. I'm sorry, 16-8 run. I knew that sounded weird coming out of mine. When I was like, oh, no, wait, hold on, that's not. So the lead's still 4. Get away from that midcourt line there. Guy. Draws the foul. Couldn't get the bucket to go. But 2 shots should help. Front end good. Wonder who will win. I don't know. I wonder as well. We'll continue to watch. Oh my gosh, Penn State, what a steal. Oregon State tried to catch them napping. Penn State baited them. Baited. In the corner for the lead. Oh, it's no good, but the offensive rebound works. Tie game. Tie game. Oh, and a foul. So they're looking for an old school 3-point play, and they get it. It is 40-39. 21-10 run. 21-10 run. That is incredible. And just when I was starting to worry, starting to think like, oh no, like not another blowout. I spoke too soon. And here we have Oregon State and Penn State. Oregon State now down 1. Drives inside. created a mismatch for himself and paid the price for it. Oregon State walked back across the midcourt line. Gives the Penn State the ball right back.
He throws up the shot. He shows the sweet
Scooped
touch.
and scored. 42-39. Penn State has now outscored their previous half effort by 4 points. Oregon State brings it to within 1. I might owe you something. You don't say. 42-41. 3:45. Oh no, Penn State, you can't throw the ball like that. You know that gets picked off. Oregon State can't convert off the turnover. Remains a 1-point game. 42-41. This has been a great day of action so far. Oh, almost. That close to going in. Looking for a 3-point play. And unfortunately, the first free throw is no good. Second free throw is also no good. The tip in is also no good. So a lot of not good on that possession down the court. And it's 42-41. Ooh, jump step. No good. 42-41. We're under 3 to go here in game number 4. The final half of the first half of the tournament. Big 3, no good. Just a little bit too much power. Half a step back and it probably would have been golden. They lead by 1. This right now is a 23-12 run. And Benny stepped out of bounds. Out of bounds. Oregon State trying to work on that backcourt line. A lot of over and backs. Player wasn't quite as open as he seemed. He threw it away. Kind of looked like he had the defender out of position, but just instead of choosing to drive around, probably because he's been blocked 96 times, passed to his left and it was unsuccessful. Corner from the three from the corner, excuse me, is good, and it's 44-42. Pass in. Looking for, oh, nice. Nice big scoop and score there. No good. That's not, all right, not ideal. Kind of want that 3-point play. Had a shot at the 4-point sequence of events, but unable to convert. So here we go. We're under a minute and a half to go. Benny the Beaver, who looked like they were in pretty good position to take control of this game. I never really felt like, it's hard to describe. It's one of those things where you watch and you're like, Oregon State kind of stalled out, and you felt like Penn State could make a run at it. Where like Alabama just kept making shots and they didn't really seem to have that long of a stretch where they weren't making anything. They were looking good. Oh no, can't let them in that deep. That's easy buckets. Nittany Lions take a timeout down 2, 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining. We are now, I think it's at like 87 point, almost 87.5. You can't have backcourt violations. Stop with the backcourt violations. Now they're only down 2. Oh boy. They got a guy up ahead. They have a guy up ahead. A great shot. 46-46. And yet another game is coming down to the wire. 46 all. 50 seconds. Oregon State doesn't get to hold for the final shot. Teams typically don't do that in this tournament anyway. But if they go just a smidge quicker, okay. What? Beaver was like, free ball. Yeah. Sir, they called a timeout. But get the ball. All right. So, see if the Nittany Lions, you worry about that midcourt line, or just throwing it away. Why not? No, we're throwing it away right back to them. All right, so the shot clock is definitely off at this point. Penn State would probably be wise to hold this for the final. No? Okay. Oregon State's going to take a timeout. Tied 46. 12.2 seconds remaining. In that sequence of events, I would want to hold for the final shot. I am okay with overtime. They played their tails off, getting back into this game. And that is going to be how Penn State loses. They give up. The defender didn't even look like he tried. Oh, off the front iron, no good. Oregon State advances. That was a terrific game with a fantastic finish. Oregon State, even though they won this game, didn't make it much longer in the tournament. They lost to Iowa in the next round. They will tip off their second chance at a championship against Northwestern on day number 1. As for Penn State, they'll look to pick up their first win in the tournament when they face Dayton on day number 4. And because they're playing on, Oregon State's playing on day 1 and Penn State's playing on day 4, that means that a rematch would have to be in the third place game or all the way in the championship. How far do you think Oregon State will make it in the next tournament? What about Penn State? You can tell me. You can leave me your comment down below, or you can go over to challenge.com/Sept Mascot Madness and tell me. Fill out a whole bracket. You can tell me what you think of both of these teams. You can tell me what you think of the other 62 teams, and you can let me know. And then you can watch all the games over on twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex. Don't forget, it starts on September 4th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We only have one game left to count down. What game could it possibly be? Tune in next Wednesday to find out.